What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Bulls Latest. Your host, Matt Johnson here. Going to kick off this show with a Bulls-Sixers preview. The Bulls' next contest will come Tuesday night at the United Center against the Philadelphia 76ers. Two 5-1 squads that sit atop the Eastern Conference. Should be a fun contest. You can catch that game at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on CHSN. This will certainly be one of the marquee matchups on the Tuesday NBA slate. Both squads have really looked solid coming into the beginning portion of the season. The Bulls obviously fresh off a 128-116 loss to the Knicks on Sunday in New York. The Sixers played Sunday as well. They're fresh off of a 129-105 win in Brooklyn on Sunday. Just kind of looking at this matchup from afar in the injury report, a key injury to monitor for the Bulls ahead of this matchup is obviously Ayo Dosunmu. He missed Sunday's contest against the Knicks. He is questionable for Tuesday night's game against the Sixers with a left quad contusion. So we'll certainly want him in the lineup. We'll have to take a look at that as game time nears and get an update there on his status. The Sixers, on the other hand, have won 3 straight road games entering this contest. They've played very good ball away from home early on this season. Looking at their injury report to start on this one, you have Paul George, who has yet to play this year, I believe. But he continues to be day-to-day with his knee ailment. Jared McCain also yet to play so far this season. I think he's still out with his thumb injury. We'll get more of an update on Paul George since he is day-to-day. We'll see what his status is. Obviously, he's a big contributor to that organization when he is healthy. You have Joel Embiid also listed as day-to-day due to rest. So Joel Embiid will probably be out there. I expect him to play, especially since they've been off since Sunday, so they had that extra day. Again, though, Paul George will be the one name we'll have to check on as game time approaches, as is the case with Ayo. It should be an electric contest Tuesday night at the United Center. It should be an awesome basketball game. I'm excited for this one. Cannot wait to see what kind of atmosphere the United Center brings on Tuesday night for this big game. So looking at the betting preview for this one, as expected, it's a very tight spread on this one. The Bulls are a slight 1.5 point favorite. The Bulls you can also get at minus 115 on the money line. Philly at minus 105 if you're looking to play the Sixers. The total for this one sits high again. Of no surprise, it's two of the better offensive clubs, and I'll get into the offensive rating here in a bit, but two of the better offensive teams in the Eastern Conference to this point. That total sits at 239.5. So I think, looking at this game and kind of analyzing it, I think the best bet for you guys for this one is Bulls money line. I expect the Bulls to get the victory at home in front of the United Center crowd Tuesday night. I know Philly has been hot on the road early, but I like this spot for Chicago with or without Ayo. I think if Ayo plays, obviously that's a bonus. You might even see that line push further towards Chicago there. But if he's out, I do like the Bulls' depth to carry them to victory in this one, as it has so many times thus far early on in the season. So I just think with the Sixers being without McCain and then Paul George again, and who knows if, I know Embiid is day-to-day due to rest, but he likes to take games off in terms of his health there. It would be no surprise if he sat this one out, but I do expect Embiid to be in there. Overall, though, I think Chicago's the healthier team. This should be one heck of a contest. I lean Bulls money line as your best play in this one. If you guys are looking to play the total, I'd lean under once again here. I know I've really kind of played an angle on the under in a lot of Bulls totals so far this season. I think that this is going to be a tightly contested game. You're going to see two sides in a tight game throughout. I think the spread kind of says that. I expect this one to be a bit highly contested as we move throughout the 4 quarters here, especially late in the game. If we have a close game, I think you could see the pace of play slow just a little bit there. I know both teams like to play fast, and more specific, the Chicago Bulls like to play with pace, as we've seen so far this year. I think that this thing could trend, just towards the under there at under 239.5 points. So Let me know what you guys think and what you guys are predicting for this contest. I'd be interested to know. Are you excited for this contest? Let me know the mood around Bulls Nation here. This is certainly one I'm excited for. Cannot wait for this contest at the United Center Tuesday night. So, kind of looking at some keys here, some more keys for Chicago. Getting to the line is critical for Chicago. I think that we've seen that, especially with Sunday night's loss in New York. It's very critical for the Bulls to continue to get to the line. That's going to be a key in this contest as well. The Bulls have a plus margin in free throw attempts in the games that they've won, and that was a major key to the Bulls getting off to that solid 5-0 start. They were the aggressor in the first outing against the New York Knicks with a plus 11 finish at the free throw line. And then when you look at Sunday night's contest and the first loss for the Bulls, New York finished with a plus 11 free throw advantage there. So, actually, I take that back. There was a plus 11 free throw advantage for the Bulls in the first win against New York. New York was a plus 13 in this department the second time around. The Bulls made more freebies than their opponents in 3 of their first 5 games. So, obviously, that's a recipe for success. So, 3 out of the 5 there, the Bulls got to the line more than the team that they had played there. They managed only 9 free throw attempts on Sunday night, which was by far a season low. You kind of saw that. The Bulls let that lead get out of hand early. I think it got up to 27 points, like I was saying the other night. A season low and getting to the line there. Getting to the line has become a pretty major part of this team's identity early on. That's no secret. I think that, when you look at how I talked about this team moving into this year, as we move through the summer league and then the offseason, I anticipated the Bulls were going to find success early on and then really throughout the year by getting to the charity strike. I think that's going to be a critical component to this team, given that it's not so star heavy and top heavy like some of these other rosters. I mean, even if you are a top heavy roster, getting to the line is proven to be a successful entity for a lot of these ball clubs. So you're going to have to figure out how to adjust when the whistles aren't coming. I think that's important for this young Chicago Bulls team. We'll see how they build off of that contest from Sunday night, how they learn from that loss early on. I know it's really early in this season, a lot of basketball to be played, but an early test for Chicago coming off that loss Sunday night. Hopefully, I got my fingers crossed, we're going to have Ayo Dosunmu out there, and this kind of goes into the next element that I wanted to talk about, but the Bulls' offensive ceiling and how high that is, given their offensive rating early on. I continue to feel pretty good about this team's offensive ceiling. While their defensive rating has taken a hit recently, their offensive rating is now top 5 in the NBA after scoring 116 plus points in 4 straight games. And you really see this offense clicking on all cylinders. They're able to score the ball at will, really, Anya, which is really fun to watch. They continue to move the ball well, incredibly well, really, and thus repeatedly create open shots both behind the arc and at the rim. That was my concern in this offseason, really, was to be able to create shots at the rim given their lack of size, really. Even against New York's stout defense, the Bulls did manage to shoot 48.4% or higher in back-to-back games, which that's not easy to do against one of the Eastern Conference's top, really the NBA's top defensive ball clubs there. They also drained 17 of their own threes in each performance, which is a season high as well. This team can get buckets with the best of them, and I think that they haven't even welcomed Kobe White onto the floor yet, obviously, so their offensive success and the prowess on that side of the floor is something that is eye-opening. I think it really shows you that the Bulls can go punch for punch with the best teams in the league when it comes to the offense and the offensive rating there. So look for an explosive performance from the Bulls tonight. Now, I know I gave you guys the under. That's a high total. I do think we're going to see a bit of a high-scoring game. I just don't think it'll get to 240 points, but we'll see. I wouldn't go crazy on it. Excited for this contest, looking to go 6-1 in this young season. The United Center crowd is going to bring it. It's going to be another great one Tuesday night in Chicago. So I want to thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Bulls Latest. Let me know your predictions for Tuesday night's contest against the Sixers. Do you think the Bulls will pull this one out? Let me know how you're feeling. So thanks again for joining me, guys. We will get you guys a recap on this game tomorrow, and have a good rest of your day, everybody.